YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to my law school experience. Andrew Darling, of course. If you're taking that time to come here and take a look at this, I just want to thank you first and foremost. But I told you it's going to kind of be a vlog style sort of thing. So I went to orientation for the first 3 days of my law school experience, and it was nerve-wracking. I don't know if that's the right word. That's probably not it. I don't want to call it overwhelming. I think once you decide to go to law school, you do the YouTube thing, you do the research, you Google and see law school experience stuff. I've never been a huge note taker. That's just not something I did a lot of. I've been fortunate enough to retain quite a bit of information. And like I said, I'm just fortunate that I'm able to do that. So in 3 days of orientation, 3 days, I've taken 23 pages of notes. So I've taken more notes in the 3 days of law school for orientation. Like, that's not even class yet. But it's good. I'm trying to prepare myself, start with good habits and whatnot, because undergrad and for my master's degree, I didn't really have good habits. But that's okay. I'm going to make it work. So what do you really expect from law school? Well, I already have in my 5 classes that I'm taking, which is your first semester, and pretty much all 1Ls, all first-year law students are going to take essentially the same core classes throughout their first year. Some of it's broken up a little bit different from where I go to school is, but it's all the same content essentially in your first year. That's all part of the ABA requirements for certification and all that stuff. There's sort of a general guideline of how you're going to do stuff. So what are my expectations coming out of orientation? To be overwhelmed, to be exhausted. So I'm a little bit unique in that, well, it's not just me. There are a couple folks that I've met. I'm going to be commuting 90 minutes one way to work, and that's in good traffic. I'm sorry, to law school. That's in good traffic. So it's about a 90-mile hike from where I live to where I'm going. So I have to factor in about 3 hours of driving a day, and that's in ideal conditions. It usually is somewhere in that 3.5 range. So I'm pretty familiar with the drive. There's only a couple alternate routes that I can take if there is something terrible, accident or traffic or whatnot. But orientation was good. They split our group up into 2. We had an opportunity to, meet the faculty, go through some very basic, what is law kind of questions. What types of law? Where does law come from? How does it, how is it enforced? How is it changed? How is, what is case law? What's a statute? What is in administrative, guideline, basically an executive order kind of thing. So just learning, what those are, where they're from. A lot of us have small legal backgrounds. I worked for over 1.5 years as a paralegal for a pretty statewide firm here in South Carolina, for a pretty well-known firm here for about 1.5 years. Did lots of stuff. It was really cool, lots of fun. So some of us have some experience on the paralegal side of things, but obviously going to law school is preparing us to be an attorney, preparing us to graduate from school, make sure we pass the character and fitness stuff, and then pass the bar. So, that's what law school leads up to. Orientation has truly, it's just excited me. I'm so dang excited. I really am. And that's the thing that a lot of folks worry about the work, and you worry about, am I going to have time for this, and am I going to have time for that? I'm not worried. And I'm not worried not to say that I'm ignorant that I'm going to be overwhelmed or I'm ignorant to how much work it's going to be. No, I'm not worried in that I know I can do it. And I know I'm going to have classmates that push me and help me. And hopefully I'll be able to help some of my classmates. So that's kind of what I'm thinking now as far as what to expect. The orientation really was an eye-opener. So just having a chance to sit and talk with some of my peers, and as well as some former graduates of the law school, huge deal for me. A really big deal. So right now I'm just in the process of making sure I order all my books, getting some of my reading done before class on Monday, and just mentally preparing for the fact that I'm starting law school. It's a heck of a thought. You know, for a lot of us growing up, you know, you hear about it's the elitist of the elitist. It's the greatest of all great students, and it's all these different things. And in a lot of scenarios, that's true. I've been fortunate enough to be accepted, and along with my classmates, we're going to make this thing work. So I genuinely believe that attitude is everything when it comes to anything that you're going to do in life. So I'm starting to put my schedule together. I'll be able to kind of give a default look at what my schedule looks like as far as on a daily basis. I'm going to put my wake up and prep time. I'm going to include my drive time. I'm definitely going to put some spots in there for the gym. I got to do that. If I don't do that, I'm going to go crazy. So I'll figure out, you know, study areas, study rooms and whatnot. I'm going to figure all of that stuff out. If I want to study in a group or not, I don't know. I'm going to try and get somebody in my group who is making the commute as well. I've met a couple folks that are doing that. I'm not sure what group they're in as far as if they're in my same cohort of people. So we'll have classes together. I'll find all that stuff out next week. But like I said, I'm excited. I'm super pumped about it. I'm ready to get rolling and get started. So we'll see what happens. I don't think I can accurately answer any questions yet other than about orientation. So if you do have questions, I mean, feel free to ask. Whatever I can answer, I will. And what I don't know, I'll ask around and try and find out. So I appreciate it. It's Friday. So hopefully I'll be able to catch a couple Z's at some point this weekend and then get ready to get on the grind and go ahead and just knock this first semester out of the water and get ready to start the club joining process and, you know, get ready for internships next summer and all that stuff. So I'm ready to get to work. I mean, that if I approach it like that, I'm working. I'm going to work. I'm going to be up at 5 and I probably won't be in bed till 11 every night, including, you know, traffic and driving and whatnot. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. So I'll figure it out. Thank you so much again. If you took the time to actually sit here and watch my video, you probably won't be seeing these until we're way further in the process than what we are right now. So thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I don't know if I'll be saying that in a week or two, but we'll definitely see. I'll try to put up 2 or 3 videos a week, vlog style like this, unedited. So if you can't stand or anything like that, my bad. But we'll go from there. YouTube, thank you guys so much. Part of this, on a side note, is really for my personal record. I want to be able to go back in 3 years and look at these videos like, man, he was so clueless. He had no idea. Or go back and be like, he handled himself okay. So we'll see. There is certain reasons to do stuff like this, certain reasons not to, and I'm aware of those. So thank you guys so much. And again, anything that I do say, obviously I'm not using my school's name. They're not endorsing me for this. I'm proud of where I go to school. You can see that on my Twitter handle and all that other stuff. But if you want to, you know, follow me on Twitter, it's at Mr. Darling4, Mr. Darling4. Instagram's the same thing. I have a tech YouTube channel where I'm usually not as dressed up. You can go see some stuff there as well. But definitely, I mean, if you're here to learn about my law school experience, if you're a high schooler, if you're an undergrad, if you're thinking about doing it in a couple years, hopefully in a couple years you should have lots of resources, at least from this channel. So thank you guys again so much. I know I'm kind of rambling here. I really appreciate it. I'm so excited. I'll let you guys know how I feel about this next week. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.